You know, it's one of the funniest columns in the Post and Courier, and the topics are usually a little off the wall, but so is the guy who writes those columns, Bryce Donovan. His segment, often referred to as The Bryce is Right, and he joins me here now to talk a bit about why he does and says what he does.
Wondering if I knew the answer to that.
That is the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Is it stuff, just stream of consciousness, stuff that you see and observe and say, well, I want to know more about that.
I'm just different.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing and a curse, but I just think differently, I guess. I don't know, but just anything that's going on in my life these days, I will talk about. And unfortunately, my wife works for the newspaper too, and
yes.
So she is out there in the public quite a bit, whether she wants to be or not. And then,
you've got a certain amount of fodder out of kind of doing other people's jobs along the way. I mean, a myriad of things that might seem a little mundane from a distance, but you put yourself in their shoes for a day?
Yeah, it started off like really directly just like that, where I would do an actual job and then write kind of a first-person experience about it. And just because where I was cursed is that I'm klutzy and inept, but it works in terms of like writing, because then I just go and tell people all the things I did wrong. But it kind of evolved into just, we would create things. Like, for instance, one of the first things I did was I worked with the North Charleston Police Department, and they have like attack dogs.
Okay. And
so they'll train the dogs, or obviously they have to, and they put on this big padded suit. Yeah, sure. And they said, "Do you want to do this?" I said, "Sure." Right. And an hour later, I was completely regretting that decision. But I mean, that's a kind of thing. But it's not just miserable stuff. I've flown the Goodyear blimp and carried the Olympic torch. A lot of fun stuff.
Right.
But yes, as I get older, I'm sad to say I get out less. But I have getting married has just been ridiculous. The amount of material that comes out of that. But but still, try and stay true to that and get out of the office once in a while and do something.
Grew up in this area, Wando High School?
No, actually, I'm from Greenville, which is it's boring, and I wish I was from.
Where did I get the Wando connection? Because maybe you
I
friends with.
I have a ton of friends from there, and I think if it wasn't Wando, this is terrible that I don't know this, but I tried out for a high school football team as a place kicker.
Okay.
But that was like 6 months ago. Yes. So clearly not my alma mater. Though.
Right. Are there topics you just won't touch that you just are just forbidden?
It's slowly becoming my wife is one of them.
And she's not real fond of.
She is. Okay. I have editors at the office, but then she's like the real editor.
Yes.
So I run everything by her. But to be perfect, to tell you the truth, no. I'll try anything basically, and I'll write about anything, and I just always want to push it. It's just like. You said something in the beginning that made me laugh. It's like one of the funniest people in the Post and Courier. It's not like we've got a whole lot of competition in that regard. But yeah, it's fun. I give credit to everybody there. Steve Mullins especially, just turned me loose, and I've gotten us in trouble plenty of times with my big mouth. I've said stuff I shouldn't have, but for the most part, they let me go.
Well, I'll wrap you up right there, and we'll have you back.
One thing.
Yeah.
When I used to watch talk shows, the guests would bring a gift for someone.
Sure.
So I didn't want to
a present?
Come empty-handed. Yes, so I know how much you like cooking, so I got you an easy bake oven.
Isn't that great? Does it come with the light
you're
bulb?
Ready to roll. Yes, you can actually bring that into the office next week and make us some cookies.
Oh, I'll do just that. Thanks, Bryce. Awkward. You can check out Bryce's column every Thursday. There's more stuff just like what he just did in it. All right, at Post and Courier, postandcourier.com. There's also his blog. You can do just that. Just log on to postandcourier.com and find The Bryce is Right. In this week's Low Country Marketplace.